You know, as we saw there with the clip in the report by James Rosen, that this could potentially get ugly on the Hill no matter which person gets the nod tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
Well, as James noted in his important report about the facts of who these nominees are, Democrats are still very bitter and upset that Merrick Garland didn't get a last-minute chance to be sitting on the bench because they know what's at stake here. This isn't just about Donald Trump replacing Antonin Scalia. This is about Donald Trump being able to shape the future of policy in the country based on Supreme Court precedent and decisions for the next 3 decades, potentially. And so they're going to put up a fight. We've seen, despite things not being controversial before Trump became president, they then do become controversial. And you can bet that Chuck Schumer is going to take a playbook page out of Harry Reid's old ways to try and cause some controversy about these nominees.
Well, and as you said, things that may not have been controversial because both these finalists, I'm led to believe it's these two, Judges Hardiman and Gorsuch, although with this president, I feel like he is an independent operator. We can never be too sure until we hear the name. But with both of those judges, many of the Democrats now sitting in the Senate voted for both of these guys.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting for them now to say, as the ABA, the American Bar Association, does ratings on these guys and have said they're either qualified or well qualified. They got through easily last time. How much do you think that may factor into President Trump's decision to narrow to these two? Because he's going to be able to look at some of these senators and say, you already voted for him once.
Right. It certainly helps. I mean, 95-0 in approval in the Senate, and then you also have a voice vote being taken. It's going to be very difficult for Senate Democrats to justify why they were so willing to have non-controversial stances on these two nominees should one of these men be chosen. But now that Trump is president, then change their opinions and somehow start attacking the details of their records. I think it's interesting to look at the kind of interest groups that line up with these two nominees as well. Let's not forget that the Supreme Court was a huge part of Donald Trump's platform, and he used the Supreme Court as a way to get people who were reluctant, even Republicans, to vote for him on his side when it came to Election Day. We have Second Amendment rights. These two nominees have a record of supporting Second Amendment rights. We have Obamacare. Both of them have dealt with the Obamacare contraception mandate and been on the side of the Little Sisters of the Poor and Hobby Lobby, which of course were immensely important rulings that we've seen in the past couple of years. And so they have good records with the constituency that sent Trump to the White House, and they certainly have a good record when it comes to what people wanted to see moving forward for a couple of decades in terms of policy.